if I'm on. I'm not on yet, but I will be, I think, shortly. Let's try it now. There I am. Okay. All righty. Okay. Yes, I am here. Betty, great set. As usual, I caught all of yours and most of Jay's. Just always busy with something. Always busy, it seems, these days. Anyway, I am here. I will be here for the next half hour doing some tunes, jumping around my iPad. Start with some John Denver. Hopefully this is all working out right. Hey, Sarah. The storm across the valley, the clouds are rolling in. The afternoon is heavy on your shoulders. The truck out on the 4-lane, a mile or more away. The whining of his wheels just makes it colder. He's an hour away from writing all your prayers up in the sky. 10 days on the road, barely gone. The fire softly burning and supper's on the stove. It's the light in your eyes that makes me warm. Hey, it's good to be back home again. Sometimes this old farm, it feels like a long-lost friend. Yes, and hey, it's good to be back home again. There's all the news to tell him, honey, how you spend your time. What's the latest thing the neighbors say? And your mother called last Friday, sunshine made her cry. You felt the baby move just yesterday. Hey, it's good to be back home again. Sometimes this old farm, it feels like a long-lost friend. Yes, and hey, it's good to be back home again. Oh, the time that I can lay this tired old body down, feel your fingers feather soft upon me. The kisses that I live for, the love that lights my way, the happiness that living with you brings me. It's the sweetest thing I know of, just spending time with you. It's the little things that make a house a home. Like a fire softly burning and supper on the stove. It's the light in your eyes that makes me warm. Hey, it's good to be back home again. Sometimes this old farm, it feels like a long-lost friend. Yes, and hey, it's good to be back home again. I said, hey, it's good to be back home again. Oh, yes, it is. Sometimes this old farm, it feels like a long close friend of mine. And hey, it's good to be back home again. I said, hey, it's so good to be back home again. Hey, Richard, Dareth, Dolores. All right. And Sarah. And Rick. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. How about a Gordon Lightfoot tune about a ship that sank? And it's not the record of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Called The Ballad of Yarmouth Castle. Well, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The anchors have been weighed. From Miami to Nassau, she's bound across the waves. She's heading south through Biscayne Bay into the open sea. The Yarmouth Castle, she's a-dying and don't know it. There are many years she's been to sea. She's seen the better times. She gives a groan of protest as they cast away the lines. And the grumble of her engines and the rust along her spine tells the castle she's too old to be sailing. But the sun's sand run out within her heart. A tiny spark glows red, smolders through the evening as laughter overhead. Now the dinner's served and the cards are dealt and the drinks are passed around. Deep within, the fire starts a-burning. Now it's midnight on the open sea. The moon is shining bright. But some people join the party and others say goodnight. There's many who are sleeping now. It's been a busy day, and the tiny wisp of smoke is arising. Oh Lord, she groans, I'm burning, let someone understand. But her silent plea is wasted in the playing of the band. Everybody's dancing on the deck, they're having such a time. And a voice says, shut up and deal, I'm losing. Deep within the Yarmouth Castle, the fire begins to glow. It leaps into the hallways and climbs and twists and grows. And the paint she wore to keep her young, oh Lord, how well it burns. And soon that old fire is a-raging. Now beneath the bridge it's climbing fast. The captain stands aloft. He calls up to the boatswain, says, "Boatswain, we are lost." For the ragged hoses in the racks, no pressure do they hold. The people down below will soon be dying. All amidships, so she's blazing now, it's spreading fore and aft. The people are a-scrambling as the fire blocks their path. And the evil smoke surrounds them and they're falling in their tracks. And the captain in his lifeboat is a-leaving. Oh, then the ship Bahama Star comes steaming through the night. She sees the castle blazing, it is a terrible sight. Jump down, the captain cries, we'll save you if we can. And the paint on his funnels is a-frying. God help the ones who sleep below and cannot find a way. Thank God for those we rescued upon this awful day. Now the heroes, there are many, but the times are going slim. And now from stern to bow, she's a-blazing. Oh, the Yarmouth Castle's moaning, she's crying like a child. You can hear her if you listen above the roar so wild. Is she crying for the ones who lie within her molten sides, or crying for herself? I'm a-wondering. But the living soon were rescued, the ones who lived to tell. From the star they watched her as she died there in the swells. Like a toy ship on a mill pond, she burned all through the night, and then slipped beneath the waves in the morning. The Ballad of Yarmouth Castle. Yes, not the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Not the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. And all righty. We're jumping all over the place. We're jumping all over the place. A little Phil Brown from David Mallet. In my younger days, a man who lived with brushes, sticks and stones. His days were filled with canvas scenes of brown and blues and meadow greens, and the world just passed on by his door. He lived but lived alone. And he'd come to town with his old wool cap pulled down, surrounded by the dogs that were his friends. At times too drunk to stand, he'd shake familiar hands and sit around the SO station till his loneliness would end. And I knew a painter in my reckless days, bristled, bearded, humble on his feet. A sympathetic, sad old elf, he knew me better than I knew myself in the last days of my boyhood, in my time upon the street. And long through the night, a faded yellow light would burn inside the room where he would stand and play the old Victrola and drink his rusty wine and conduct the Mozart music with his heart and aching hand. But he could paint a picture and he could capture life, and no one ever felt things more than he. He was never much for roses, he'd sooner paint the thorns, 'cause he found a keener beauty there that no one else could see. Someone bought the house he lived in, painted up the room he died in, swept away the cobwebs and the dust from off the floor. The children laugh, the seasons run, young lovers row in midnight fun, but no one loves more than the one who paints the world no more. Long through the faded yellow light would burn inside the room where he would stand and play the old Victrola and drink his rusty wine and conduct the Mozart music with his heart and shaking hand. And play the old Victrola and drink his rusty wine and conduct the Mozart music with his heart and shaking hand. Phil Brown. Phil Brown. Okay. So we're a little bit past the halfway point, which means I need to announce that Rick Page will be coming up next, and then Richard Hopkinson, and then Tony Barrett, and then Ann Sandstrom, who is tuned in here, and Marianne McAllister, and then Jay will be back to close things out. And at 5:30 tonight, the virtual doors to the Friday edition of the North Reading Community Coffee House virtual open mic will swing wide open. And then at 6, doors will remain open, and we will start our virtual open mic. If people want to join by Zoom and don't know how to do it, you can message me. Otherwise, you can tune in on either the North Reading Community Coffee House Facebook page or the North Reading Community Coffee House YouTube channel. Both will work. Both will work. So let's see. What do we want to do next? Alrighty. How about this little Stan Rogers tune I've been doing lately? It's called 45 Years. Thanks, Dolores. Where the earth shows its bones of wind-broken stone, and the sea and the sky are one. I'm caught out of time, my blood sings with wine, and I'm running naked in the sun. There's God in the trees, I'm weak in the knees, and the sky is a painful blue. I'd like to look around, but honey, all I see is you. Now the summer city lights will soften the night till you think that the air is clear. And I'm sitting with friends where 45 cents will buy another round of beer. Glass of beer. Got something to say, but I'm so far away that I don't know who I'm talking to. 'Cause you just walked in the door, and honey, all I see is you. And I just want to hold you closer than I've ever held anyone before. You say you've been twice a wife and you're through with life. Ah, but honey, what the hell's it for? After 23 years, you think I could find a way to let you know somehow that I want to see your smiling face 45 years from now. So alone in the lights on stage every night, I've been reaching out to find a friend who knows all the words, sings so she's heard, and knows how all the stories end. And maybe after the show she'll ask me to go home with her for a drink or two. Now her smile lights her eyes, but honey, all I see is you. And I just want to hold you closer than I've ever held anyone before. You say you've been twice a wife and you're through with life. Ah, but honey, what the hell's it for? After 23 years, you think I could find a way to let you know somehow that I want to see your smiling face 45 years from now. And I just want to hold you closer than I've ever held anyone before. You say you've been twice a wife and you're through with life. Ah, but honey, what the hell's it for? After 23 years, you think I could find a way to let you know somehow that I want to see your smiling face 45 years from now. That I want to see your smiling face 45 years from now. 45 years. Multitasking, I'll say. How about, since the cable's already here, oh, the night was clear and the stars were shining and the moon came up so quiet in the sky, and all the people gathered round and the band was a-tuning. I can hear them now playing Coming Through the Rye. You were dressed in blue and you looked so lovely, just a gentle flower of a small town girl. You took my hand and we stepped to the music, and with a single smile you became my world. And we danced all night to the fiddle and the banjo. Their drifting tunes seem to fill the air so long ago, but I still remember when we fell in love at the Roseville Fair. Now we courted well and we courted dearly, and we rocked for hours on the front porch chair. Then a year went by from the time that I met you, and I made you mine at the Roseville Fair. And we danced all night to the fiddle and the banjo. Their drifting tunes seem to fill the air so long ago, but I still remember when we fell in love at the Roseville Fair. So here's a song for all of the lovers, and here's a tune that they can share. May they dance all night to the fiddle and the banjo the way we did at the Roseville Fair. May they dance all night to the fiddle and the banjo the way we did Roseville Fair. All right. Hello, Barb. All righty. Got time for another one, I think. If I can find something quick here. I never seem to find something quick. That's not too quick. I'll try this one. I'll do it fast. Mother, Mother Ocean, I have heard you call. Wanted to sail upon your waters since I was 3 feet tall. You've seen it all. You've seen it all. Watch the men who rowed you switch from sail to steam, and in your belly you'll hold the treasure that few have ever seen. Most of them dreams, most of them dreams. Yes, I am a pirate, 200 years too late. The cannons don't thunder, there's nothing to plunder, but over 40 victim of fate, arriving too late, arriving too late. Now I've done a bit of smuggling, and I've run my share of grass. I made enough money to buy Miami, but pissed it away so fast. Never meant to last, never meant to last. Now I've been drunk now for over 2 weeks. I passed out and I rallied and I sprung a few leaks, but I've gotta stop wishing, gotta go fishing. I'm down to rock bottom again with just a few friends, just a few friends. Now I go for younger women, live with several a while, and though I ran away, they'll come back one day. I could still manage a smile. It just takes a while, just takes a while. And Mother, Mother Ocean, after all these years I've found my occupational hazard being, my occupation's just not around. I feel like I've drowned. Gonna head uptown. I feel like I've drowned. All righty. That's it for me. Maybe we'll see some of you later at the North Reading Community Coffee House virtual open mic at 6. But for now, I'm turning over to Rick.